Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about teaching AP Human Geography Unit 2 content with Community Analyst. My name is Philip Hare. I've taught at AC Flora High School for the past 10 years. My teaching load currently includes IB Geography and AP Human Geography. I've helped plan and conduct professional development for my district and several state-level organizations. Currently, I serve on several committees, including the U.S. Geospatial Intelligence Foundation's K-12 Education Subcommittee, where we're trying to develop education resources for teachers. GIS, we know, can help our students and ourselves work through the geographic inquiry process, and Community Analyst is definitely going to help with that. As teachers, we can also work to move students through this multi-level instructional scaffold with GIS. And so Community Analyst presents us many opportunities, starting with presentation or demos and moving through the last stage of custom projects. In AP Human Geography, we know that sticking to the course articulation is really important for our students and our instructional planning. So Unit 2, I've pulled some items from that. We need to be able to explain the implications of population densities and distributions. We also need to analyze population composition. Now in Community Analyst, we've asked it to help us look at those concepts. We've asked it to show us the following geographies: the combined metropolitan statistical areas for Columbia and Charleston, North Charleston, plus the Orangeburg micropolitan statistical area. So we can kind of look at sort of some hinterland ideas as well. We got some other stuff, including the population densities for the Columbia CMSA. Here, we're viewing the census tract level. Now, within Community Analyst, we can produce these infographics. These, you can clearly see, allow us to investigate further a variety of details about the population in this given place. We can look at income, we can look at education, and many, many other factors. So if students are working in Community Analyst or teachers and they click this median age icon, this is going to produce yet another visual. One that helps us understand population composition, the good old population pyramid. So here is the population pyramid for the Columbia CMSA. The dots represent a comparison. So right now it's being compared to a different county, like a singular county in the CMSA. We could ask through that drop-down box to compare to any other county in the CMSA, the state, or the country. And so we can easily compare population densities within different scales in this simple graphic. And students might be able to think about why there is this bulge here with both males and females aged 20 to 24 here in the Columbia CMSA, right? Great way to investigate the local scale. Community Analyst also gives us really simple ways to quickly look at density at various scales. Again, this is required in the course articulation. So now we've got the Charleston, North Charleston CMSA. Just for fun, we're looking at a different one in our local area. We could choose any that we want. But we've got density at the county scale. There are certain patterns that emerge. But we know if we go down to another scale, say the zip code, same data, just organized differently, we're going to see a pretty different pattern emerge more clearly. Last, we can go to the census tract level and really investigate a more granular pattern of population density. So we've used the same data, but we're starting to look at it at different scales within the same geography. Pretty cool. We can do this all within Community Analyst. So what's next? Students need to be able to understand the implications of population distribution and density. The articulation guide tells us this. And they need to know how these distributions and densities influence political, economic, and social processes. So very quickly, let's look at the economic processes. What I've asked the map here to do within Community Analyst is show us all the Walmarts. And so we could take some time, investigate these patterns. We can do some other stuff with it, but how does the population density relate to the pattern of Walmarts? Additionally, we've asked Community Analyst to show us the Starbucks, a pretty different type of business. We have to zoom further in, and we can see all of them. Much more tightly clustered pattern. And So then we can start to analyze these patterns as well. What's influencing this? Pretty interesting. This is Highway 378, US 378, going through the city. And we can see a lot of Starbucks along Highway 378 as we travel east to west or west to east. One other way we can take a look at these economic processes and how population influences them is through mapping market area drive times. The course articulation does say that students need to be able to analyze market areas as they relate to population distribution. And so Community Analyst allows us to add in sites. So here we have 4 locations of a regional fast food chain cookout. Additionally, we've asked Community Analysts to map the 5, 10, and 15-minute drive times from each of these cookouts. And so now there's some patterns we can start to explore. What's cool is within Community Analysts, we can click on each of the 5, 10, and 15-minute drive time patterns and get those same key facts infographics that I was showing you earlier. And so we can look at how the population, the median age, the income, the education alters or changes as we go out to these different drive times. We might think that the 10-minute drive time is perfect for cookouts, but if we go into Community Analyst, we can see that each of these red 5-minute drive times, the infographic tells us that's about 20,000 people. So I'm guessing Columbia could support more than the current 4 cookouts. Some pretty fun analysis all through Community Analyst. So the question is, how can you teach AP Human Geography content? You can explore your own community and others in Community Analyst. Do remember, Community Analyst requires a free K-12 ArcGIS online organizational account. And you do have to activate Community Analyst licenses for yourself as the teacher and for your students if you want them to use it. If you don't have an organizational account, check out some of the links in the story map. The story map you can find the link for, and definitely get on board with the organizational accounts. We've also got another link for a bunch of resources for teachers. How can you use ArcGIS and other products like this in your classroom to help your students learn AP Human Geography content? Thanks for listening.